Okay, I went ahead and set the recording, everybody. That way, I don't mind you guys sharing this with your teams and stuff, but I just wanted to get you guys on here first, kind of give you a layout of what we're doing, where we're headed, and give you guys some nice gems and tips and ways to sell and promote and all sorts of cool stuff. Let me go ahead and mute everybody again. Give me a second.
No, they don't have the card.
Oh. I don't know how they become unmuted. That's really weird. Okay. So anyway, really quick. I just had a really awesome conversation with somebody, and I'm telling you the power of our network and why it's so cool. This gentleman does not really like to, he's very particular on who he works with and who he would put this vertical, align with. And he said, you guys aren't your traditional network marketing company. We all know this. But the discussion as it went, I think these are golden nuggets here for you guys. So if you want to write any of this down, think about this when you speak with other people in other companies that are product based. Okay. And he mentioned something to me, and I'd never really thought of it this way. And that's why I said we're always learning. I've been in sales for 30 years, and I'm always still picking up gems because I'm always listening. And this really struck me. He said, John, I knew that the old system was broken, right? I've preached that since day one. You pay $100 auto ship, blah, blah, it's broken. We know that. But a lot of people don't realize that yet. But he said, here's the problem with the product-based companies. You've got places like Amazon. You've got the internet. So, we knew that you can go and purchase something less back then, but back, say, 10 years ago, you had to kind of do your homework. You had to shop. You had to walk into this store, that store, that store, that store. Now, if you're in a product-based business where it's just strictly product-based and not a marketplace business, what our network is, you're going to go sign up distributors, you're going to go sign up customers all day long, only to lose them to an Amazon within a couple weeks. Only to lose. They might fall in love with your oil or your pill or whatever, but you can go on to eBay, you can go to Amazon, and you can go find that exact same item for a lot less money, like that, all the time. And so I was just hit up with another one of these products, MLM product. I went and looked it up on Amazon. I can save about 60%. I could buy the same thing for 60% less. Consumers have an easy access to better savings on products. They just do. And that's just going to keep enhancing as more and more companies roll out. So that old model of MLM, when I'm talking to somebody at one of these companies, I say, look, compare what you've got. What is your uphill battle? How are you going to get from here to here? Because you still have to keep all these guys. And so what I'm offering you is, like, I'm not bashing your product. Your product may be wonderful, may be great. It's not the product. It's a system into which you're going to have to distribute that product and sell it. It's too easily exposed as far as people can go find that same thing for a lot less money with the click of a button. Where the world's headed right now are marketplaces. It's a service-related, service. It's where, we saw. Well, I've showed that video of Fusion many times. People don't want to just get hit by ad after ad after ad. Consumers they're attracted to what they want to hear. That they're looking for ways to cushion their money and save, and they're looking for all these different ways to do things right now, and it's right there at their fingertips. They can find a lot of information. So basically what he was saying is, look, these companies are starting to die on the vine, and the entire paradigm shift of network marketing is happening right now, and it's starting with our network. And he recognized that, and that's why he wants to work with us with his vertical. I won't tell you what it is yet because it's not official yet. It's just the very first conversation of many. The next conversation is getting him with Richard and those guys, because I absolutely fell in love with what he's doing. I think it's amazing. But the fact that he recognized what our network is doing should give you guys a lot of confidence when you go out and you speak with people. Because if you present this correctly, they will recognize what our network is doing, and we're creating a marketplace. We're redefining network marketing as a whole, because we're creating a marketplace, and it's just going to get bigger and bigger. We all saw what happened Thursday. We saw the announcement. We saw Trent go up there, excited, got emotional, because He's able to pay people in all these countries, all these different ways, and this is what he does. This is his passion. And he flat out came out and said, "Look, I don't care. I'm going to say it. Banks make way too much money, and we need to change that. We need to create a bank or a way for you to earn on what the bank makes, which is what we're doing, which is essentially what we're doing. When I have a lot of conversations with companies or with people, I say, look, let's throw all this other stuff out the window. Let's throw this product out, the savings, I save X amount of dollars here, I save X amount of dollars. It doesn't matter. I throw all the noise out. I said, look, here's the point. We're a bank. We're putting people into the bank. We're going to put people from the UK into the bank. We're going to put people from Canada into the bank and all these different countries into the bank. Whether or not this guy's saving more money than this guy and stuff, honestly, it doesn't matter. And because we're going to have a bank in all these countries. All these places will have the bank. All these places will be able to sign up local mom and pop stores. I always tell people this: cut out the noise. Don't worry about who's saving money where and what. It's those of us who build, we're making money. And there is now an international savings. I'm just going to be very blunt and very bold with this statement. Whether I use a savings or not, which I have, because I think it's important if they're available to you, but if they're not available to me yet in this area, that area, it doesn't matter. Why? Because we're missing the fact that now that we have our travel, that's worldwide, there is a worldwide savings. Now, you can say, well, I don't travel a lot, or so-and-so doesn't travel a lot. I'm like, it doesn't matter. So-and-so can still go make 6 figures a year or 7 figures a year by building a business, by getting 3 people and helping them get 3, and helping them get 3, and helping them get 3. It doesn't matter. I always tell people, don't get caught up, don't get asphyxiated on that stuff. I'll give you a perfect example. May 9th, 2019. What happened? We rolled our rNetwork out. How many of us were saving money on May 9th? How many of us were saving money on June 1st, June 15th, July 1st? We didn't start saving money until around mid-July or August, and it was a little bit. But many of us were building teams. I remember my team had 2,500 people in it in May, or by mid-June. I made $5,000 my first month in rNetwork. Guess how much money I saved? 0. Did I care? No, because I made $5,000. I was out there building. We've got to help people stop worrying about if they're saving X amount. Who cares? It doesn't matter. Honestly, it doesn't. And we got to get away from that. Yes, the savings will come. Yes, more our products are being rolled out. There's several more products being screened right now. They're always going to add to it, add to it, add to it. But if we get caught up on that one thing, all we're doing is slowing down our own growth. We're slowing down our progress. We're slowing everything down. So I'm just, and I don't want to talk the whole time about that, but I'm just saying we got to get our heads right and our minds right about what this is. It's a golden business opportunity. Like Trent said, this could be the biggest opportunity of your life. And I believe it is. I honestly believe it is. And he's like, look, you're all invited to be a part of this and get on the train, because it's going with or without all of us, right? Without our prospects. That train's moving, and it's moving fast. So I'm ecstatic about what they do. So let me make some clarifications on what they announced Thursday, just in case people have questions. So the 3 and me, right? You get 3 people between now and the 14th of January. You unlock all 10 tiers. The payouts start in January. Why? Because they have to program it. So, but you've qualified for it. So start in January, $50, $50, $50, $50. You get the 3, you get $50. They do not have to be your original 3, just your T3, $50, plus the $2, $56 really is what you're getting. Then if you get the 3, now, your T3 qualified before then as well, you unlock all 10 tiers. That starts in January. The payouts on all 10 tiers. Why? Because it still has to be programmed, right? They've got to program it in, so they're giving themselves time to program. But you will get the payouts from all 10 tiers starting in January, but you'll qualify now. So January 14th rolls around, or whenever it said, you have 7 days to unlock the 3, and you will unlock all 10 tiers as long as you do it in 7 days. If you ever fall below T3, to get the 10 tiers again, you'll need 10. So if you fall below the tier 3 status, And for example, say you sign up 5 people and 2 of your originals drop out, you're still at tier 3. So you still get the $50, you still get the 10. They don't have to be your original 3. If you're T3 status or above and you stay there, you unlock all 10, then you get paid the $50 as well. You get both. Okay. And they are doing that to incentivize you to help your people, right? Help you get them motivated and going and building. But it really is a power 3 comp plan now. Find 3 people that want to plug in. And whether this person's saving more than this person, it doesn't matter. Because my question to everybody is this. Did you get into rNetwork just to save money? Or did you get it into rNetwork to also make money? If you got into rNetwork to make money, you're going to have to get your 3 and 10 no matter what. So no matter if this guy's saving more than this guy, it doesn't matter. We all have to get our 3. We all have to get our 10 to unlock and make maximum money. Think about it this way. We just sat there for 3 hours Thursday night listening to all sorts of things. And you saw that the network is all in the network. Notice how the video now out of the card is starting to come down here. And the network, we're talking more and more about the network. And there's a reason we're doing that. Because without a big network, we never get the metal card. We need a big network. We need enough people to increase the revenue to pay. Those are expensive. They're not free. But here's the beautiful part about it. We get paid in swipes regardless. I don't care if the card's plastic. I don't care if it's rubber. I don't care if it's black, blue, brown, pink, purple. If I'm getting paid on swipes, I could care less. I don't care. I'm not going to worry about, oh, does it have the screen on it yet or not? If I'm getting paid on the swipes, I quite frankly don't care. Now, is a card coming? Absolutely it is. I already know who's manufacturing it. I know who's shipping it. I know all this stuff, but I also understand some of the costs associated with it and what it's going to take for the bank to cut that check to pay for those cards. You know, we build the network, we make money, we get paid on swipes, we get all that stuff. All that stuff is happening. All the stuff we're promised is happening. That's what we focus on. What we have now, we build it. And we build a huge organizations. What we need the team to do, and I'm challenging everybody to do, this is a time that we all take an inner look inside ourselves, and it's gut check time. And this message needs to permeate across all teams. What are you really good at as far as when it comes to building a business? Are you good at sales? Are you good at marketing? Are you good at this? Are you good at that? And what are you not so good at? Focus on right now what you're not so good at. You're already good at what you're good at. And that's not going to go away. You're not going to forget how to do it one day. Focus on what you're not good at and get better. Improve. Because if you want to build a huge organization, you've got to self-improve it, and then you got to turn around and help your team improve. That's why we're doing what we're doing. Those first 2 classes we did, and I've talked back, Stephen and I have talked several times back and forth. We've gotten to be pretty good friends. And he knows what he's doing. I know what I'm doing. At least we both feel like, as far as sales, I'm not the greatest. Like, my son plays a gazillion instruments. I can't play anything. You know, there's always somebody better than us at something, right? Nobody's the best at everything. Not even me, even though I tell my kids I'm the best at everything all the time. But I'm the dad, and that's my job. I have to do that. But they don't believe me anyway, so it doesn't matter. But anyway, I know where my weaknesses are. I know where my strengths are. My strengths are in training, developing, and marketing and stuff like that. To give you just a small background, and I'm not saying this, I'm saying this just to give you an idea of who I am outside of, I've had an appraisal business and blah, blah, blah. We don't all this stuff. Before I was self-employed, I had worked almost 30 jobs. 30 jobs. Okay. And the only reason I'm telling you this is for this reason. I've worked customer support. I've managed customer support teams. I've worked sales from door to door, to selling donuts, to selling shirts, to selling jewelry, to selling everything you can imagine I've sold. I've written manuals on sales. I've trained sales guys. I've consulted for sales guys. I've consulted for small businesses. I've been a CFO. I've been a CEO. I've been a manager. I've been a grunt. I've been at every single level of business that you can imagine. And the reason I'm saying that, and I've had jobs I've absolutely hated. I did collections of Discover Card for 2.5 years, talking at a call center so I can wake up at 5 o'clock in the morning, get to work. I dreaded waking up every morning, and I hated my job. I had to make 350 calls minimum a day. Hit the F4 button. There's a button called F4. I hit it. I make a phone call. It goes beep, and all of a sudden someone's swearing at me out the other end. Why are you calling me, you little son of a, whatever. I don't know why they kept saying such mean things about my mother. She wasn't making the phone calls, but they'd always bring her up somehow. I don't understand it. But anyway, and I would tell people, I said, look, as much as you hate hearing from me, I hate calling you. I'm just trying to feed my family. I'm just trying to get to school, man. This is my job, and I would try to make light of it or whatever. But what I'm saying is I did what I had to do to feed my family. I did what I had to do to hone my skills. I absolutely hated that job. Hated it, but I did it for 2.5 years. But I can promise you, I credit a lot of my success from what I learned at that job. I learned how to talk to people. The fear just went away. You try collecting. You call somebody at 8 o'clock in the morning on a Saturday morning and tell them they owe money on a credit card. That's not a fun conversation. You do that every Saturday, it gets old really fast. Hey, I did that. You go knock on people's doors and sell them couponing books and sell them vacuum cleaners and sell them all sorts of crap. You make cold calls to people and say, hey, check out this motivational picture. I'd like to sell it to you, CEO. And they're like, where the flip did you get my phone number? I'm like, I don't know. Look, man, I just work here. I sold office equipment to people that couldn't even see the furniture before they bought it over the phone. Okay, everything aspect in sales, I've done it. The reason I'm saying this, I highly recommend, I promise you, I know how to promote, I know how to prospect, I know how to close. I've done it for decades. Watch those 14 classes. Learn how to build. Every class you're going to learn a little more, learn a little more, learn a little more. Get your teams to watch those classes. Get them to self-improve and learn. The first 2 classes, and many of you guys are on it, so awesome, kudos to you. We're talking about getting our minds right. We're talking about learning what it takes to become an entrepreneur. Identify things in your life right now that you can put on hold. Cut out an hour of TV a night, cut out 2 hours a night, cut this out. Just make a couple. You're going to have to sacrifice for success. It's just the truth. There's no way around it. I tell people, you either want this or you don't. But if you want it, you got to act like it. You got to work like you want it. I'm working like I want it. I want this bad. Even though I have had success in another business, I got burned out. I didn't want to measure another house. I didn't want to talk to another real estate agent. I didn't want to talk to another loan officer. I didn't want to get in an argument if the appraisal came in short. I didn't want it. Was it a good income? Yes, it was a great income. I've argued with my spouse about this. She told me I was crazy for doing it. She thought I was nuts. She thought it would never work. She just didn't understand. She's not a network marketer, and that's okay. That's fine. I still love her, but I've taken heat from my mother-in-law, my wife, my friends, my family, to my brother thought I was nuts for doing this. John, why in the world would you walk away from your appraisal business to do this? I've made sacrifices. Okay. The reason why I hit whatever rank I hit, ambassador, whatever you want to call it, I've made sacrifices. I've worked my butt off since day one. We need to make sure that we're making those sacrifices and we're turning around helping our team make those sacrifices. And we're going to learn. What are we doing now? I'll tell you where the focus is now. I'm really super excited about this. What we're doing with the Fusion project, I've got the training is going. We put the calendar up today. Thank you, Cindy, for doing that. I don't think she's on this call. She's got another engagement, but she put up the calendar. I had somebody ask me the other day, do you guys ever do sizzle calls, 3-way calls? We do sizzle calls 4 times a day. It's on the calendar. Look at the calendar. Put the people on any of those 4 calls a day. They do a great job. I've listened to a couple of those calls. They do a phenomenal job. You've got guys in here building on this call right now that are building big teams, and it's awesome. Kudos to you, because we're interlocking and stuff. But we're going to have that. All the corporate calls are on that calendar. Everything's on that. There's no excuse at this point not to build a big network in our network. There's none, because everything is there. We've got PDFs now. We've got videos for every vertical. We have everything you need. You have now, we're going to enhance that with what we're doing with our team. We're just going to add, I want to say enhance it more than we're adding more tools. So you may like this, you might like the corporate video better than the video we do. And that's fine. Use whichever one you like and what's going to permeate, what's going to talk to your prospects. The key is getting the prospects in, but you got to learn to close them. The biggest thing, and where people live and die in network marketing, is prospecting and closing, right? We all know that because that's what it is prospecting and closing business. That's what, if you think it's anything else, you're in the wrong place. This is a prospecting and closing. It's a relationship business. So you got to build those relationships with people. Have to know you're confident, competent, and you're consistent. If they know you're lacking in any of those three things, they're not going to listen to you. There's a reason why I'm starting to become more stickler with comments on our pages and stuff. You know, oh, this isn't working right. This isn't doing that. This isn't doing that. Okay, and yes, I love to help people. Yes, I love, but let's keep those to support. Let's keep those away from the new person that we just added 2 days ago and then creating doubt for that person. You know, let's keep those comments away from where there should be away from, and let's focus, put those comments to support in other places. And half the times it's actually something on our end anyway, because I also tell people this: if the program works here, it will also work here and here and here. It's not the program, it's the user. And now sometimes, and it could be a little thing, but anyway, this is laundry list stuff. Let's keep everything in here positive, 100% in the VIP group and in other groups, because we're edifying, we're building a team, and we're going to build a massive organization. Because where this company is headed, I promise you, every person on this call, outside of myself, and even myself with certain things, have no idea where this is going. You have no clue where this is going, because we've only shared that much with all of you. There's a lot more coming than you can even imagine, and that's fine. Right now, we're in a good place. It's getting better. So what are we going to do to help build our teams? We're all going to commit to ourselves today. We're going to 100%. If you're on this call, you're plugged in. So awesome. Hats off to you. Your team's going to hear this call. Let's share it with them. I don't care. That's fine. We need everybody plugged in. We need attention. What is our network doing? Our network is creating a worldwide marketplace, just like Amazon did, just like Uber is doing, just like all these companies are doing. We're taking the guesswork away, and we're creating a marketplace by demanding for discounts, demanding this, demanding that. As this network grows, we're getting better savings, better this, better that, so somebody can't Google us and find it for less later on. Because if they can do that in every aspect, then the business won't last forever. Because that consumer needs it. So any of those product-based businesses, I don't care how big your downline gets, I don't care. It's going to fall apart at some point. Because someone's going to go to Google, or they're going to go here, and they're going to find that item for less. They're not going to keep, they can love you to death, but they're not going to keep buying from you. If they're paying $200 for something, they can go pay $40 for. It doesn't make sense. You know, you can say, well, they're loyal, they love me to death. Yeah, they're loyal until they click on Google, because it's their family that they can't feed because they're overpaying by something by $100 or more. They're loyal to their family first and to their finances before they're loyal to you. So when I have conversations with people, I'm very honest. I'll say, look, you've got a tough road, pal. You've got a much harder road than I have. I can build a team here, I can build a team there. I'd rather build a team here because my team's saving money while your team is spending money. You know, that's just the way it works. I have an easier road. I have an easier ride to the top than you do. You can be honest about that, you know, and do it in a polite, in a professional manner or whatever. But that's a hard truth. And when they see that, because you know how people are. And anyway, I'm just saying, learn what we have and own it and be proud of it, because what we have is remarkable. So step 2. So step 1 is the training classes. Essential we go through these classes, and you will learn how to prospect on. I mean, a lot of you have probably already read the entire manual. The only reason I'm going over it with you was, number one, I wanted to hold myself accountable. I promised Steven I was going to go through it. I promised him I'd watch all of his videos. So I'm going to do it. I told the team, you should watch it. So I'm going to do it to make sure, because again, I won't do anything that, I won't ask you guys to do anything I'm not willing to do. ever. I will never do that. Also, I love the fact that we can kind of put the rNetwork spin on it as we go through the classes together. Because I figured Steve's got a background, I've got a background in marketing as well, in sales and training. Let's take both backgrounds, combine them together, and let's make these classes just kick butt. Let's make it so we're, and then I love the participation, because when I watch his videos, you're hearing people from Legal Shield and other places. Well, they're not rNetwork, So I like, this time I'm going to make it available for everybody to unmute. This time when I ask you to unmute, you'll actually have the ability to do it like you didn't last time for a couple minutes. That was my bad. Technology. Again, I'm still learning. But that's phase one. Phase two is our marketing, our Fusion stuff. I was on the phone all day, off and on all day with Fusion yesterday, going back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, because I saw the new website corporate did. They saw the new videos. I shared everything with them, because that way they can create what we're creating. What we're doing with Fusion is simple. We have people in here looking for their 3, looking for their 10, looking for whatever. We know who they are. I'm very familiar who they are. They're right there in my back office. I can see all of you. Everybody on this call should be somebody one way or another I sponsored. So that's great. So we need to help you get your 10 and get your 3, and then turn around and help your team do that. So the leads we're going to get through Fusion, it's easy. We're going to get 4 videos a month. The videos are going to start being produced on Monday. We're going to start production Monday. The website should be live sometime next week. Knock on wood. Hopefully next week. If not, the week after for sure. But it's very, very close to going live. We had to wait for the changes. The social media, the marketing, all that stuff, the Google searches, the SEO, all that's being built alongside with it. They started the SEO content. They did it a month ago. Now they had to change it because everything changed with corporate, which is why I had to put it on ice. I had to put it on hold, not because I was slacking. It was because we needed the new information from corporate first. The last thing in the world I wanted to do was roll out something that would be incorrect in 3 weeks. Corporate has told me there's not going to be any big changes between now and launch. So now I know that, okay, great, I can roll this out. Boom. There might be another product or 2 added or whatever. There's some other things in the works, but there's not going to be comp plan changes or anything. What we heard Thursday is what's going to carry us through launch. So I know I can confidently go and put this website out, run all the stuff we're doing. Let me tell you how we're evolving with Fusion, what we're going to do. Gentleman I just spoke with may be able to help us create a lot of prospects ourselves. And if Richard likes him and he likes Richard, and we roll this out company-wide, I think it's phenomenal, and it's nothing like you've ever seen. I promise you've never seen anything like this before. I had never seen anything like it before, and I've been in marketing for 30 years. It's awesome what he's got. But anyway, in the meantime, this is what we have. We've got the Fusion. We're running the SEO. We know that. Here in about 90 days, once we launch, because the budget will increase, we're going to start running YouTube ads. We're going to run ads all over social media to create even more buzz, create more prospects, and just funnel them in, funnel them in. I've got myself here. I've got 3 people directly underneath me. We've all invested in this project. So we'll have the leads. We just trickle them down. We trickle them down, line, down, line, down, line, down, line. The lead comes in. We work them. We say, oh, so-and-so needs them. I will probably personally work leads. I'll close some. I'll put them under so-and-so. I don't need my 10. I've already got 10. So just drop them in. Boom, boom, boom. Then I'll call on so-and-so and say, hey, I need you to also help me with these leads, because I can't be bogged down working these leads all day, because I got a gazillion other things I gotta do. I mean, I will work on some, but I don't have time to work on all of them. And nor do I want to, just because I've got so many projects going on with rNetwork right now that I got to focus on to help the team grow. But I promise you one thing: I never stop prospecting. As many people that I have right now, I never stop prospecting. I'm always prospecting, whether I'm doing it in this fashion or this fashion, whatever. I'm always doing it because I'm in the prospecting business. So that's why it's important to go through the classes. That way, when the leads do come in, you're more equipped to close them. You're more equipped to work the leads and do everything you need to do to make it more seamless for you. Get to stage 4 that we talked about, those 4 stages the other night. Get to stage 4 in all aspects of your business, not 1 or 2. Recognize where you need to improve and work on it. If you need to be better at online social media, it's so funny. Everybody wants to wait for trainings that Dave does or I do or anyway. Go to YouTube. Go to YouTube and learn how to create Facebook ads. Go to YouTube. It's all on there. Where do you think we learned it? We didn't go to school for this stuff. We were self-taught. I promise you, I went to school for 2 years, 2 years of college in business, general business. I didn't know anything about social media or marketing or I didn't take that in school. I was self-taught because I took it upon myself and I went to YouTube and I learned, hey, how do I do this better? How do I learn this? And I watch the experts and I watch this guy do it and this guy and I learn from. I'm always learning. I spend at least an hour a day. I spend an hour every single morning learning something new. 1 hour every day. I do it every single morning. I get up 1 hour and I learn how to do something better. You always have to self-improve. As soon as you stop improving, you decline. It's exactly what happens, because if you don't do it, the next guy will pass you up. That's what happens. They'll pass you up. I don't want to get passed up. You know me, I'm competitive as heck. I'm competitive, probably annoying, but that's just who I am. I'm always looking for ways to get better. And that's why we're building, but that's why I was able to build a strong base and a strong team. A lot of people ask me this question: where do you find all these leaders? I said, I don't. They find me. They're like, well, what do you mean by that? I said, because I put myself out there and I sound confident. I sound confident. They can tell I'm consistent. So they come to me. Why? Because they want to work. I'm attracting. It's the law of attraction. If you want leaders, you have to, in essence, become a leader, because leaders only want to work with other leaders. They don't want to work with anybody else. You have to make them want to work with you by improving your skill set, your presentations. Everything has to get better. Remember, and some of you guys, when I was with the other group, I did my little PowerPoints back 2 years ago. And I can ask you all on the phone, you can let me know, have my PowerPoints gotten better? Yes, because they sucked when I first started. Because I was brand new at it. I didn't know I'm like, I was a content guy. I didn't know anything. And my content's probably gotten better. My delivery's gotten better because I do it all the time. I didn't start out one day and all of a sudden I was like, oh, but it just gets better, and it'll continue to evolve and get better. But if I stop practicing and I stop presenting and I stop doing PowerPoints and I stop studying and learning, I'll decline, because I'll start losing a little interest. I'll start doing that, and that's a scary thing. So the mindset has to be there every single day. I will improve on something, whatever it may be. Whatever's holding you back from building a big organization, focus on that aspect and get better at it. And then teach your team how to get better at it, and go out in front of your team and show them that you're learning it, that you're getting better, because then you'll inspire them to do it. That's how you build a big network marketing company. That's how you do it. And because it does, that message, it spreads, and it spreads fast. I want everybody on this call to be not six-figure earners. I want everybody to be seven-figure earners in this industry, and then you can make a legacy for yourself, your family, and everyone. Six figures won't change. It'll change your life maybe, unless you're already there, but it won't change your family's life, like your kids and their kids and the kids. You need 7 figures. You need 8 figures. You want to change. You want to create generational wealth. What this company is affording us, the opportunity, you need 7 and 8 figures to do that. But you can earn that here. I'm not going to guarantee it, because I don't want to, in case, I'm not guaranteeing anything. I'm just saying the opportunity, I believe wholeheartedly, 100%, personally, myself, I believe it's right here in front of us. You want to create generational wealth, then you know what? Make some generational sacrifices. Cut out some TV every night. Cut this out. Do something different than what you're doing now to get to that next level. Whether it's self-improvement in the mornings or night or whatever, and just doing that. You've got it. We all have to do that. I learned a long time ago, you can only help people so much. You can only pull them so far. They've got to meet you halfway. If they don't meet you halfway, it'll never happen. It won't. So we got to take personal responsibility, all of us, and say, all right, what am I willing to do to meet John halfway, or meet, corporate halfway, or whoever, What am I willing to do to meet so-and-so halfway? I got to do it. And some of you guys are doing it. I love it. Some of you guys are exceeding it. It's awesome. But I'm literally watching people become leaders, and it's fun. I love it. I love watching people all of a sudden they're getting better and better. I don't think I don't notice it. I do. I notice it, and corporate notices it. And, we can see a lot more than people think. And it's exciting. So anyway, Fusion comes out in about a week. The videos, everything, they'll be yours to have. Create a video library. If you like corporate videos better, great, use them. If you like these ones better, use them. Use whatever works for you. And I don't get offended. They don't get offended. We don't care. We're just here to help. The PDFs, everything we're creating, use them. What I would do is, again, go through those classes, get your team on the calendar, get people on sizzle calls. I'll give you a little sneak peek to a teaser in classes, probably 4 or 5 classes down the road. And Steven said something I agreed with him 100%. Said he or she who gets the most people to the meetings or the phone calls or the trainings, they're the ones that build the biggest teams. They're the ones that, and we're going to teach you how to get people to respond to that, how to get them to say yes and stuff. The reason why I taught what I did in my other classes was simple. You got to get their attention somehow. What are the attention grabbers? The savings, those are the attention grabbers. Those aren't the closings, those are the attention grabbers. So the reason I challenge everybody to save money, it has credibility. So if you can save money in your area, which you can, if you don't travel a lot, well, and you're in a company where travel is available and that's it, well, travel one time. It's a business write-off anyway. Go to a hotel once. Just get a testimonial for yourself. Or whatever it is you need to get. Push yourself out there. Put yourself out there a little bit. Do whatever you need to do to get yourself a testimonial or two, and then now you have that testimony. No one can take your testimonial away from you. Right? Once you have it, it's inherent, it's you believe it, you've done it, you've experienced it. But if you haven't, it's hard to tell somebody with passion that this works because you haven't experienced it yourself. But once you have it, it's funny. The pitch in your voice will elevate, the excitement level in your voice will elevate. Everything it just naturally happens. And what happens is you will attract more people. You've got to live the product. You got to be the product. You got to do all that. Just like we taught in our classes. If you don't watch the classes, you don't know we talked about any of that stuff. You've got to go through what it takes to get from here to here. And I can't do that for you. I can't. I wish I could. I can't. Nobody can. But you wouldn't want it any other way, would you? Right? I tell this to my kids all the time. If you accomplish something on your own, even if you use somebody else's tools, but you did the work, you accomplished it, no one can take that away from you. You did that. And you became a better person. You became more knowledgeable. You became more experienced. You became a better overall human being because you did that. You can take pride in that. You can be proud of that. You can be happy about that because you achieved it. No one can ever take that away from you. That's got to be the mindset of what we're doing. We're going to give you a tremendous amount of tools, and that's what they are, they're tools. And we're excited about where this is headed. We're excited about, like I said, a lot of the products coming out. The vision of the network, I think it's starting to permeate now. I think people are seeing what this is, what it is, and it's absolutely phenomenal. It is going to take network marketing, and it's going to force other companies to change because we are going where the world's headed. We're creating a marketplace like the world has never seen. It's going to be, and I believe it will compare to places like Amazon. I'll tell you one thing Amazon can't do that we can do is this right here. Amazon will put their product up there. Here's a price. Here's all the merchants you can buy from. Here it is. It's a big merchant marketplace. We all know what it is. What Amazon can't do is walk into a small business owner face to face and say, hey, I'm going to save you on marketing. I'm going to save you on payroll. I'm going to save you on this. I'm going to save you on that. They don't have that personal in-person handshake. They'll never have that. Because we have that, that's more powerful than anything they will ever have. And we got to know that. We got to own it, but we got to work as a team in a collective unit to do that and teach our team to do that. Not one person, including myself. I'm not going to have 100,000 directs. I will have over 1 million people on this team, but I will not have 1 million directs. I won't even have 100,000 directs, and that's okay. I don't need to. I need to focus on my 3, 10, help them do that by training, developing, plugging into their network. My network is so big, I work it now. And when I say that, my network is massive because my network is all your networks now. As you open up your networks to me and your team opens their networks to you, your network is massive. You know how big your network is? Your network encompasses 7.8 billion people. That's how big your network is. Now, whether you plug into your network or not, that's entirely up to you. But your network is 7.8 billion people. That's how big your network is right now. You may not know it, you may not realize it, but it is. It's that big. It honestly is. I'm meeting people from all over the world right now, from people meeting people everywhere, because I've decided to plug into my network and meet people in my network by talking to strangers, by talking to anybody and everybody, taking phone calls, listening to whatever. My network's massive. I see Dave on here, I see Derek, I see Kay, I see all these different names, Carissa, Cindy, Kari, yes, I said Sharon, Dale, Sue, Champ, Steven, George. How many of you did I know 6 months ago, a year ago, 2 years ago, 3 years ago? How many people on this call did I know a couple of years ago? Mark, okay, Sonny, that's cheating because that's my mom. But outside of my mom on this call, how many of you did I know even a year ago or 2 years ago or later? You're my network. But I didn't know any of you a couple of years ago. None of you. So nobody can come to me and tell me, oh, my network's tiny, it's too small. No, it isn't. Your network's massive. Plug into it. Plug into it. Learn the skills, go through the classes, get the leads, work this as a team, and plug into your massive network of 7 billion people, and then see how big you can build a team. That's what you've got to do. It's got to be up here. Sacrifice something each day, better yourself each morning, take an hour a day and better yourself. Whatever it is you're lacking, take at least an hour a day and work on that. And then your confidence will go up, which means you'll become more competent, and then you will become more consistent. Why? Because it's all works one and the same. If you're not confident, you won't be consistent because you'll give up, right? If you're not competent, no one's going to listen to you, and then you won't be consistent because you'll give up. That's why we've got to train and set up the way we're training. That's why Stephen created it, and that's why I love it. I haven't changed anything in that training, not a single word. I love what he put together. All I'm doing is I'm putting my 2 cents on it, put my spin on it. That's it. That's all I'm doing as I go through it. So anyway, I got a couple minutes. Excuse me, sorry. Any questions? If anybody wants to unmute themselves, make any comments, questions, it's your time. I'm just going to chill out and listen to all you guys. Yeah, go from there. So anybody, and you should be able to unmute yourselves. I don't have you blocked. I better not.
Hi, John.
Yeah.
This is Sharon from Canada. I just want to say we appreciate so much all your support and all your leadership. You are absolutely phenomenal, and I'm just here to copy everything you're teaching us to do. I'm doing everything that I can do to copy the leadership.
Awesome. No, I appreciate that. Well, thank you. So, but again, it's like I said, I decided to do this back in May, and 2 feet in. And so, no, I appreciate that. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
John, George Hudak.
Yes.
It's kind of interesting the way that we met and the way that I was introduced to.
Yeah, I was.
and you weren't looking at me. And for everybody that's on the call, John was talking to somebody else, and I happened to be listening. And I asked him to either talk louder or talk softer because he was driving me nuts. I wanted to, know. And so then that encouraged me to come to John, and then I was essentially the golden recruit there, So it worked out very well. And so that's what I'm trying to do now is I'm just trying to talk all the time. And hopefully that, that law of attraction and so on will work for me as well.
No, that's awesome. Yeah, it was awesome for both of you. I had the ankle injury. We were both we were at physical therapy from injuries, and we were each on a table, and I was talking to the doctor, the physical therapist. And so, yeah, it was funny. And I actually told Sean, the doctor, I said, Sean, I said, poor you, I targeted you. You didn't have a chance. You were going to sign up no matter what. And he did. He signed up for whatever it is I talked to him about. But I told him afterwards, I said, you know what? I said, I feel so sorry for you because you never had a chance. I said, because I targeted you and I was not going to stop until I had you, And George heard, that was funny. And George and I become good friends. We live like 5 minutes from each other. We didn't even know that. But like I said, now he's in my network, right? He's part of my network, my whole, our network's massive. So awesome, though. Thanks for sharing that. That was kind of funny. It was awesome, though. Anybody else? Any questions, concerns, comments?
Yes, John, it's Derek. Thank you for all you do. We really appreciate you, and you're the best leader we can have at this time. We're ready to go. Thanks.
Awesome. Yep. And here's a cool thing. You guys are going to become the best leaders for your teams, right? I mean, and because it's got to go down line. We will all become great leaders. That's why we're all on this call. We're on this call for a reason, because we want it bad enough. But yeah, and I'm excited, like I said, to share some of the I would show you some stuff Fusion's doing, but I haven't seen it yet. I mean, all I have is the old website that they had. But they're implementing all the new stuff in, and I can't wait I'm supposed to see it Monday or Tuesday. I'm supposed to see all the changes. Right now they're doing all the content writing and all that kind of stuff. But once I have it, I'll show it to you guys, and it'll be exciting. But what corporate just put out is great too. Their website is 10 times better than it was. So you can see everything starting to really fall into place. So you can know confidently that you are definitely in the right place at the right time. Oh, the Cindy did make the call. Awesome, she is on here. So thank you, Cindy, for making that calendar, by the way. Awesome. If you guys haven't seen the calendar, go check it out. As all of our sizzle calls, everything is on there. So any other questions, comments, anything like that?
John, I did want to ask you a question.
Yes.
How would you suggest, in Canada, we don't have a lot of the product. We were hoping to get something the other day. How do we keep people engaged for months when they don't have as much savings?
Okay. So basically right now you have the travel, and
right.
there'll be other stuff coming out. I can't get into what it is. I actually talked to Luke about it yesterday when I was in. So I know there's other stuff for internationals coming out very shortly that they said will come out before we launch, and hopefully it's just programming. But really, it's honestly, you know what we all have in common? We all have a bank opening soon. We got to focus on what we have in common, right?
Do we have that internationally?
Oh yeah, the bank will be in Canada. Yeah, absolutely. So,
awesome.
So the bank, the business. What we're doing right now, I'll tell you an easy way to sell this thing. How many people do you know in your network, in your circle, that are still working another job? They're on W-2s.
I would probably most of our network. Everybody. Well, we have an older group, so there are as many retirees, but my guess would be out of 70 people, probably 60 maybe are working in another job.
Okay. And the reason I ask you this is, so out of those 60 people, I can save all 60 of them over $38, $50 a month, like that, without even a local savings. I can save easy. Right now, I can save you, spend 5 minutes with them, I can save you guys probably a couple $100 a month. How do I do that? Tax write-offs as a self-employed person. So right. I say, all right, you start your own business through our network. You build the dream. You start building a team. What are we really offering people here? I asked everybody, did you join for the savings or for the business? You joined for the business. The savings are a perk. They're nice. But
right.
I'm going to say, let's teach your team how to be self-employed. As a self-employed person, I promise you, out of everybody on this call, I don't know what we all made last year, But I promise you, I probably wrote off more than most of you did last year because I have my own business. So when I drive my car to meetings, I get a write-off almost 53 cents a mile. When I pick up my cell phone and make a phone call, I get a write-off my cell phone bill because I am self-employed. I get a write-off a percentage of my house every month as a home office because I'm self-employed. I save a lot more than $50 a month just because if I join our network, I am now self-employed. I create an
We do
LLC.
have huge taxes in Canada as well, right? So we tell people north of 50% in taxes.
Mm-hmm.
And so, you know, we do use that tax advantage of a home-based business. That's, you know, a great option for tax write-offs for sure. And we need every single one of them we can get.
Yeah, and so I tell people if you're waiting for the savings, you already have them. This is you're W-2'd, you're not getting those tax advantages. You're now W-2'd and now you're self-employed. Now you're getting those tax advantages. You know, so and I think about it this way. I hear people complain all the time. Oh, the rich just get richer, and this. Well, you know what? Because they know how, right? They take every advantage. You know how many rich people I know that are frugal as heck, and that save every penny. They pinch every dime. They do that. That's how they got there. They didn't get rich by accident. They got there because they learned how the system works. They learned how the laws work and how the taxes. And the rich pay less in taxes because they can. Because they write it all off. I tell people, you may not be saving on dinner yet, or you may not saving on a movie yet in certain places, but become self-employed, save over $50 a month on taxes, and boom, there's your savings right there as you're building our network out. That's the easiest. And so you got to teach them to become the mindset of an entrepreneur. And because here's the cool thing is, we do have, I know there's rPerks and stuff, and if the zip code's not working, type in the name of the city, because the city is, rPerks is supposed to be working in Canada, US, and Australia right now, and it will work in other countries as it expands. The rTravel, type in the name of the city, not the zip code or the area, because every country has a different zip code, so programming is a logistical nightmare. That's why that doesn't work. You got to type in the name of the town or the city, you know, because everybody has their own. Every country has their own code and stuff, so it can't work internationally through a number search. It has to be the name of a town or city. So there are some savings in some of those places, but again, it's not that. You know what the savings do? The savings make us legal. The savings make us compliant. The savings make us all this. But the big money is in your network, and that's why I teach people. The big money.
Sorry. When we do our op meeting every week, we tell people all the cool stuff about the card. We show the video, we do that, and then we repeat over and over. But that's not why you're here. You're here because you've got an opportunity to build something at the beginning of something, you know. And so we talk a lot about networking, Ray Kroc, all kinds of stuff like that. Get an idea of building a business, you know. That's a huge part of what we do.
You are a business owner for $50 a month.
Yeah.
You know, you want to become one of the big guys. You want to become one of the big guys, learn to think like one of the big guys. I've seen big guys spend hundreds of thousands of dollars a month or a year to start a business. You know, $50 a month as a business overhead is nothing. And except for a tax write-off. It's also a tax write-off, right? And now, because I'm spending $50 a month, I'm writing my phone off, I'm writing all these things off. I can if you have a car that weighs over 2,000 pounds, at least here in America, that's a work truck. You know, you think I bought a truck to buy a truck? No, that's a work truck. It's over 2,000 pounds. I can write it off. You know, plus I do use it to go to meetings. You know, I mean, I use it all the time. So I can either write off mileage or I can write off. Anytime I drive to corporate, I can write off mileage. That's more than gas costs. 53 cents a mile is better than, you know, $50 in gas. That kind of stuff. So, but that's essentially what we're doing. So there's a way for everybody in our network. If you pay taxes and you get tax breaks for being self-employed, everybody's saving $50 a month. Everybody is.
Right. Yeah, that's a great point. I appreciate that.
Yeah. So hopefully that helps. And then, like I said, build the network, build the team out, make the income on top of it. I did not join our network not to get my 3 people. I did not join
Right.
our network not to get my 10 people.
Mm-hmm.
I knew what I was in for. I joined, I need to get 10 people. That had to be
Right.
my mindset. Regardless of what obstacle, whatever it is I have, it doesn't matter. I joined,
Mhm.
and that's how I'm going to do it. And that's the focus and mindset you got to teach your team. And then they're like, oh, okay. You got to commit them. Get in there. Let's get your 3. I love the fact that in January 14th, whatever it is, 7 days, you get 3, you unlock 10 tiers. That is absolutely amazing. They don't have to do that. That's it's to fast start this fast track this thing.
Right.
Because, and then what's going to happen on the $2 a month? Think about it this way. This is how you sell it to people. You're getting in where we're only making $2 a month. No big deal. Okay, well, this is how I look at it. We know we're going to get paid on swipes in January, right? We all know it with the plastic card, whatever, when that comes out.
Sure.
Now, metal cards out, well, even the metal, all the metal cards going to be is a salesperson for us, which is good.
Yes.
It's going to be an amazing salesperson, but the plastic card will suffice because we'll get paid on the swipes. Think about it this way. When people ask me this, well, why don't I wait? I'm like, why would you wait? Would you rather have you be the only person swiping that card in January because you waited till January to sign up, or do you want 5,000 people swiping that card in January?
Right.
What's going to happen? When they swipe that card and they can show people that they're earning money on other people's swipes and stuff, and I can go out and show, like, oh my gosh, I'm making money on 5,000 people swiping a card. I have proof because I didn't wait.
Right. Exactly.
And that's what I sell to people. I said, look, the card's coming, the bank's coming, and if they want to wait for the bank, you know what, December, whenever it is, I believe it's going to be next month. I don't. Again, until it comes from our rise up, it doesn't come. But I'm just saying, it's very, very close. So,
Awesome.
and once that bank rolls out, then this is what I love about what we're doing. Last Thursday created less doubt for some members.
Yes.
Wow, look at Trent get up and he said, oh my gosh, why in the world, I would tell says, why in the world would the guy from Google come and work his butt off and create this worldwide payment solution that he's rolling out, or looks like on the 24th or he said the 24th, so I'll just say the 24th. Why would he put all that time and effort and work into it if there's no bank behind it?
Right.
Right. I mean, if people want credibility, just give them the obvious stuff. Like, why in the world would Trent do all this? He was making a fortune at Google. He had his own business. He had built systems for other banks and all. He's got a resume that makes all of us like, wow, I feel like an underachiever when I'm in the same room with Trent. I've achieved a lot, but I get in the room with him, I'm like, holy crap, like, wow.
I tell people just look at his LinkedIn profile. If you have any doubts, I don't even want you on my team, know?
Yeah. So why would he be spinning his wheels with us if there was no bank? Mm-hmm. Why would these guys be working their butts off night and day if there was, of course, there's a bank. Mm-hmm. Why? And let's address that. Why don't we give the name of the banks? Because this question comes up a lot. I'm going to ask her 2 questions for you guys that should be very helpful. Why in the world don't we give the name of the banks? Now think about this for a minute. We have all these banks under contract. All these banks we know are failing banks. Rich has come out and said this many times. Terry was asked to take over these banks. If I went and I leaked the name of all these banks to people, you know how much trust we would lose with these banks? You know how embarrassed these banks would be? You think if you're losing your house into foreclosure, are you going to go tell everybody about it? Oh, guess what? I'm losing my house in foreclosure. Yay, I want everybody to I'm going to throw a big foreclosure party. Come on over and, celebrate the fact that I'm losing my house. I don't want everybody to know I'm losing my house. That's embarrassing. We would humiliate these banks, and we would kill the deal. It would kill it. And so when people ask me why don't we give the name, that's why we don't give the name. They trust us. When it comes out, it's going to be called rbank or whatever we call it. That's all they need to know. They don't need to know all the inner workings, what's going on behind the scenes. They just know that we have guys like Trent and Terry and stuff on this team that are serious, and they've been there, done that, right? But that's how I answer that question. The second question.
Somebody want to mute?
Yeah. So the second question that comes up is this. So why is this different than other smart cards? Think about this one for a moment. I know we've all had this question at least once. Well, so-and-so tried this product. So-and-so tried to bring a card to market, and it didn't work. You ever had that question? I know I have more than once. It's easy. I have the answer now. I spend enough time with these guys. I know exactly what they're doing with this. We're the bank. We're the issuer of the card. Again, think about this. Everything in life comes down to this. Competition, 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 getting an edge on your opponent. When it comes to business, it's dog eat dog. It just is. Okay, if anybody says it's anything different, they're wrong. It's a dog eat dog world out there. Or if you're a cat lover, cat eat cat. You know, I don't want anybody to complain because I didn't mention cats or birds or whatever, okay? You know, I'm an equal animal employer. So what I'm saying is this. Think about it this way. There's 3 types of cards out there. There's credit cards. There's what they call the like the credit cards, gift cards, like the prepaid cards, like prepaid cards, and there's debit cards. Debit cards have what? They have the real of the Star Network, the Cyrus, the Plus, all that kind of stuff. They're on that system. You can't get a credit card and there's no Star Network on the back of your credit card or your prepaid card. It's not on there. If I go there and I try to bring a smart card to market, if I am not the bank, it's just not going to happen, because this is 2 things are going to happen. Either I get a lot of momentum and you see all these cards are getting all this momentum, and all of a sudden you just never hear anything from them. Like, what the heck just happened to this card? Easy. A large bank came and they squashed it. Why? Because either they were threatened by it or they wanted to do it for themselves. They'll squash it because you need a bank. You have to rely on that bank for that card to work. You have to rely on them and then say, well, you know what, we're not interested. You're done. You're done. That's it. You have to be the bank. You have to be the issuer of that card for that smart card to ever see the light of day. We are the bank. That's why I tell people, us being the bank makes all of this possible. All we are doing is our network is taking people from here and putting them and making them customers of a bank. That's what we're doing. We are not just plugging them into a matrix to plug them into a matrix. We're not selling them a juice, a potion, powder, pill. We are saying we had an assignment. Terry was asked, take these banks and turn them around. How do I do that? Well, I got to raise the tier 1 capital, and you guys can study what all that means. I got to bring customers in the banks. You know where the bank's going to make a ton of money? The deposits. You think they really care that they're giving 1% up to help incentivize people to join the bank? Heck no. Just like think about Discover, not Discover, but think about like all the merchants we have, or yeah, think about Discover Card. They give 1% cash back, customer acquisition. They have no problem giving 1%. We're not doing anything differently than anyone has ever done, except the fact that we're the bank. Credit card companies do this. All sorts of companies do this. When people say, how can they pay 1%? Easy. Discover Card does it. Capital One does it. They all do it. They all pay out 1% or something like that. They all do it. We're just giving it to our upline. Instead of just the one person shopping, we're giving it to 10 people instead of one person. Why? To incentivize them to become members of our bank. We want people, so we're going to do everything it takes to get people to join our bank as opposed to somebody else's bank by giving them a monthly. And the reason we know this card is going to work, because we're the issuer of the card. We have 100% control. We're not leaning on anybody else. Like every other, if you look at every other card out there has tried to do a smart card technology. It's not that the technology didn't work. It's not that stuff. It's that they weren't the issuer of the card. They had to rely on other banks to carry them. The other banks said, nope, not going to do it. That's it. There's your answer. So 2 of the toughest questions you get, there's your second one right there. Why don't we name the banks? That's why. Why will our card work when others failed? That's why. That will answer probably the 2 of the toughest questions you will get in our network. There you go. There's your gems for the day. Awesome.
Hey,
yeah,
John.
Kari, go ahead. Yes.
Yeah, I had a conversation with someone last night about that, and it, you know, because it was one of my people. It was a 3-way call. I was doing a 3-way call, and that worked. You know, we own the banks. I was saying own the banks,
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, is that the right terminology? I think you've been saying that before. And he was able to accept that. And afterwards, I was wondering, is there, if someone asked me to prove that in any way, is there going to be documentation like a routing number or something like that that shows we own the banks or something like that?
Yeah, because the banks are about to roll out. I mean, they're about to roll out there very soon. We're going to have disclosures, bank accounts, and show them your bank account once the bank rolls out. So,
Okay.
obviously, they're not going to give us a routing number yet because they don't have. They're
Right.
putting these banks together. But yeah, as soon as the bank rolls out, I'm telling you right now, when this bank rolls out, if you don't get your 3 people after the bank rolls out, I'm just going to basically say, you know what? I don't know what to do, man. I'm done. If you can't get 3 people out to the bank, you know what? Go say, you know what? We're going to go walk to the bank. We're going to take a trip to wherever the bank. I'm not going to tell where the banks are going to be. I'm going to go take a trip, and I'm going to go sign us up for three new bank accounts. Why? Well, because you're going to get paid every time somebody you refer swipes. That's why. So let's go get you a free bank account. There you go. There's your 3 people right there. There's your 10. Simplify it. Make it easy. Go have a big sign-up party. Let's go sign up for bank accounts. Yay. And let's go just make it fun. Everybody can get 3. Everybody can get 10. And there's going to be so many ways to do it through either B2B, the bank, whatever, the fusion leads. You see all this stuff kind of starting to come together now. All of it's starting to come together. We're doing everything we possibly can as an upline to help you, give you as much tools, but we still need everybody. But that's awesome. You answered that question. Yeah, they will accept it. Do you know why they accept it? Because it's the truth. Right?
Yeah.
The truth shall set you free. Right? It is. It's setting us all free. It's the truth.
So my question was, there'll be some sort of, I just was wondering if there's going to be something that shows legally that we can give them. This is the company and this is the bank and we own the bank, or
Well, yeah, when we have the bank and we have our disclosure statements, they'll all be in the disclosure statements.
Oh, okay.
It'll have the little FDIC thing on there at all.
Yeah.
It'll have Visa on our card. Yeah. It'll sign. You pull out a card that says Visa on it, and you have disclosures that have the FDIC logo on it.
Mm-hmm.
There you go. Bam.
Okay. Awesome.
Yep, that's all you'll ever need. That's all our bank. Like if I walked into Chase Bank right now and said, "Hey, can you show me something that proves that you're a legal bank?" You know what they'll do? They'll show me the front door. I say, "Get the bleep out of it. What the heck?" Next, are you here to put money in or take money out? I'm like, I don't know. There is a 16-year-old kid with zits all over saying, I'm here making $5, $7 an hour power. I don't know what they don't know. And the manager will come to you and say, "What? Are you crazy?" They're not going to give you their attorneys and stuff. But what they will give you is say, "Look, well, see that sign where it says Chase? See this card that has a Visa logo on it or MasterCard? See this disclosure statement that has an FDIC logo on it? Yes, we're a bank." Yeah. And we'll have all of that. So yeah. Yep.
Okay, great.
Yep.
Hey, John, it's Dave.
Hey.
Hey, any word on the existing Sprint customers?
On the yeah, they're starting to call them now. So it's live. It's live again right now. So if you're an existing Sprint customer, you can probably still save on Sprint. I've actually seen it happen. So the average that I've personally seen from the testimonials, and anybody can correct me if I'm wrong, because I think a couple of you have switched over, it appears that it's about $25 per month per line for full coverage on everything, including Hulu. Is that correct? Is that pretty much what everybody's seen? For every phone line you have is about $25 a month. So if you're paying more than $25 a month, even as an existing Sprint customer, I would go through, fill out the form and say, "Hey, I can cut that." But that's what I've seen is about $25 a month per line for full coverage. So if you're with Sprint and you're paying $40 or whatever.
Are they offering new phones or anything?
Yeah, you'll get new phones. They give you the iPhone 11 or whatever the newest one is, the latest and greatest, or Galaxy or whatever you choose. And then, they'll give you the phones and you just, it's awesome. And we've had, let me give you some numbers. What's that? So
the other thing too is Richard had mentioned about the founders being able to get a second position in the matrix.
Yes. Once you have 10 unlocked, you can take a second position and do another 10, and then a third one and do another 10, and you can double dip. You can take more than one position once you get your 10.
And that's live now, John?
Yes. Yeah. I think so. Wait. No, it's probably January. Let's
Okay.
say I think all these changes go live January with launch.
So John,
yeah.
Then you would need another Social Security number then, correct?
No, you can use the same. It's like getting the second account. Once you have 10, they've cleared it where you can get a second account, same social.
Cool.
Yep.
John, I have a challenge for you.
Uh-oh.
You ready? No. You were talking earlier about, all the business write-offs and so on and so forth. My challenge to you is for you to find a CPA firm and bring it into the concierge services.
Oh, that'd be awesome. I can make a phone call and probably do that.
Good deal.
Bring my CPA in.
Good.
If you can handle all the work.
Exactly. Yeah.
No,
Okay.
actually, yeah, that's a good. I'll take that challenge. I ain't scared.
Okay.
Yeah,
Good.
let's do it.
I know you're not.
I can make
Cindy, you're right on top of it.
Yeah, no, that'd be awesome. Our CPA, there you go. Our accounting, or something. Yeah. No, that's
Hey,
but
Jack,
it is
Jack.
true, right? You can save $50 a month easy just by being self-employed. Yeah.
Just to clarify, on that second position, we have to wait until January, because I'm just thinking, the longer we wait, the farther down that position is going to be.
Yeah, I think I have to double check on it. So I think, because I know a lot of these changes, because the programming is going to be, the programming's got to catch up. But let me ask,
Yeah.
I'll ask corporate that when they can take that second position. So,
Okay.
yep, I'll ask them. 'Cause that's a good question. You
Hi,
stumped me.
John.
Yeah, but I'll get an answer for you. Yeah, go ahead.
Hello, John.
Yes.
Hello, John. I have a question. First off, I want to say thank you for all what you do with the team. Since corporate is getting rid of the extra 50 cents for founders, is there a pool for founders? That's one. Number two is that, because this has been mentioned many times in several presentations, including Jeremy Jenkins, will founders be allowed to participate in bank ownership? Thank you.
I think so. That's what we've kind of learned. So, yeah, I believe yes and yes. So, I know right now, one pool is going to be the 10 who have the 3 or whatever. I don't know if I know there's a lot of discussions, like, and so I don't know what I know one of the reasons for giving up the 50 cents was because they needed to pay out the $50 because of the top-off bonus was confusing to a lot of people and stuff. So essentially, we all kind of got a raise in a sense, because if you're like making $20 a month and they topped you off for 30, now you're making 50, or because if you're making $20 a month, they give you 18 to top you off or whatever. Now with the $50, if you're making $20 a month, you get an additional 50, so you're actually making $70 a month now. So they needed that extra money to pad into doing that kind of stuff, and they knew and that's the reason they're giving you a second position as well, is because you can double dip. So you'll make up for the 50 cents, but I'll tell you right now, the fastest way to make up for the 50 cents is what they're paying up the TBS with our auto and our mortgage and our this and our that. And the numbers I saw yesterday, they've had 118 people already sign up, inquire about the mortgage, which is a lot. And then they've had phones, there's been over 1,000. And then our auto, I think, is right up around 100-something people as well. So all those things, and our meds and all, as they all pay up that TBS, that 50 cents will be made up like that, right? But they needed to use that to pay out the $50 and stuff like that. So to make that better, to enhance that, they had to take away here, but they're going to put the money right back in with all the R products in the line. So I honestly believe that once the R products go up, I think, and Richard said this, I think you're going to see $10 a month per person, $15 a month over time. It's going to be way up there somewhere, because the part of those R products pay up line, part go into pools. So as far as a pool just by having 10 only, I don't know. I'll have to ask.
Yeah,
Ownership
because,
of the bank, I think it's still there. I've never heard them say anything different on the bank part as far as being an investor in the bank. That's on the bank side. That's on, I know who's over that. I don't want to say his name in case he doesn't want me to share it, but I know they were putting that program together. So I haven't heard otherwise that they're not doing that. So I think that's still out there.
because I believe that with 3, of course, you're able to unlock 10 tiers. There should be some good incentives to find your 10. Okay, and
Well, great
I
incentive is
believe
getting
having
the
yeah,
pools,
I believe
Yep.
yeah, I believe having a pool for founders
Yeah.
definitely encourage people who already have unlocked all their 10 tiers, but
Yep.
just having 3 to get more 7 more.
Yeah, I know that they have the one that if you have 10 who have 3, that's one pool. I don't know
Yeah,
if
it's
they're going to do a
ambassador,
pool.
right?
Yeah. I don't know if they're going to have a pool for the 10 itself. So we'll have to see, what happens there. But I know they're always looking at. They want a couple different pools, and they're always giving incentive. The reason why they unlock the 10 tiers to get the 3 is because if you did that and you taught people, it's like, wow, you can get paid on all this stuff down here by just having 3 people. It's going to speed up how fast your matrix fills out. And then in the sense of which is going to give you a huge raise. And that's why we want to, it's a sense of urgency to go get your 3 in 7 days. That's why there's a clock on that, which is smart because it's like, look, why limit yourself to 3 levels of commission? You can unlock all levels in 7 days just by getting 3 people. And you teach that down line, and that's why they did it that way. So, but you're right. And then there's people who want to build, that's why they have those other pools. Those people that go out there and bust their butt. Can you imagine going out and saying, all right, I have 10 people out of 3, I have 40 people in my organization. 40 people
Hey,
in
John,
my organization.
what about
I get
inactive
money out of this strap pool. So,
John,
yeah.
this is Dave. What about inactive people, and what about the option of us being able to take over a second position in an inactive spot?
I'd have to say I know they've talked about the auction and stuff, right? So they have to send a final email out to the people and give them like 15 days or so to respond before they axe them. They haven't done that yet because they've been so busy with everything else. So after, but yeah, that may be a possibility. It's actually not a bad idea. I'd have to go look at some real estate up there too. See if I can take a second spot somewhere.
John, I have
I'm so busy building what I got now. It's hard to, I'll ask about that too.
Yeah, I've got personals that I signed up that are inactive, and they've got some good spots, and I'd like to be able to take one of those.
Oh yeah, no, that'd be great. Yeah, I'll have to ask. I know we'll be able to auction them off at some point.
Another question, John.
Yeah.
As a founder, the idea of a second spot, to me, like, it makes me think, like, I've got a lot of first generation people direct with no people.
Right.
So my focus is on building their team.
Right.
So the idea of getting a second spot or a second account, to me, is almost counterproductive, it sounds like.
Right.
Because I'm so focused on building my other teams, my other legs,
Yeah, I mean, if there's going to be a lot of strategies and stuff like that, I'm in the same boat now. I mean, I've got a position and my wife's got one, and I got one with a couple other people, and so I'm helping build those out before I take another one. And I'm kind of with you there. It's like I'm just, but I can see it depends on how you're doing it. Like, are you giving up personals to give to other people? Then you fill them in. If you're just getting more personals and helping them by training them to get there. I mean, it depends what strategy you use. I've seen all sorts of different. So that's kind of up to each individual person what they're going to do. But right now I'm kind of stuck with the spots I have now because I've got more than one in essence because I have a spouse and all that stuff. And so, and I'm with you right now. I'm focusing on building that out right now because I got plenty to do. So, and I want to help my team, build out because I know if I build out the more commission my team makes, the more engaged they become, which is always a good thing. And it'll just help. I think it'll grow this thing really super fast. It'll supercharge it. So,
John,
but yeah.
Is this going to be recorded because
Yeah,
I
it is being recorded. Yep.
okay.
Yep.
Another
You know what
thing
that
is,
means? We've got you on tape. Yep.
I
So,
also have a feeling about the second position, because when we first come out with 10 in the pen, we're supposed to be very compassionate compensation.
right.
So if we have another position, we won't be as compassionate. And
Well,
then,
yeah, and like I said, it's up to each member how we're going to do it and build it out. I mean, like I said, right now I'm doing, obviously I'm doing everything I can to help everybody build theirs out and whatever, and a lot of us are, which is why this team's moving as quickly as it is, because we're all doing this together. I hate to say I don't like to say I always like to say we. We're building. I mean, we're all on this call because we're all doing it, right? And so, but it's yeah, I mean, it's up to every individual how they do that. But like Richard said, you just make a choice. I mean, how do you want to build it out? It's easier probably because to me, it's easier to build one at a time. It's just simpler. And so, and then once I build it out, then whatever. But yeah, it's up to every individual person how whatever their strategy is to build it out. I know what we're doing. We're trying to trickle in from the top down with the fusion and everything we're doing. We just want to fill in what we have. As much as we can, but that's also going to take members helping us follow up on those leads and stuff like that. One person can't work all the leads. It's impossible. Hopefully it's impossible. Hopefully we get that many leads, and I don't know how quickly they'll come or whatever. But yeah, there's no wrong answer with that. I guess it's up to each individual person how they view it and how they're going to fill it out. So,
John, another part of that could be just think about if you're, just once we go to, you have the 7 days to get your 3. What if you have a person that has 2 on day 6 and hour 23? Why could you not take your second position and plug yourself in on that team?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I mean, that could be a benefit to help your team.
Right.
And
that's true.
So, and the other one thing I just need you to clarify.
That's very true, actually.
Yeah, and one thing I just need you to clarify is on the people who get their 3 and then they're automatically get 10 tiers unlocked. Will they or will they not be considered founders?
So if they get their I think I don't know because they haven't addressed that yet. So if you unlock to 10 tiers, I don't think that makes you a founder. I think you still have to have 10 directs to be a founder. Yeah.
Okay. So then the global bonus pool, as they discussed the other night, will now be available only to founders and ambassadors, correct?
The one they're paying out on Black Friday, I believe, is if you have 3 people.
Right, but moving forward.
January, it's going to be the pools. Yeah, the whatever pools. Because they have, and think about it this way. If you have 3, because a lot more people are going to have 3 than 10 who have 3 and stuff. So that number may not have exceeded $50 a month, for the bonus. And so it's like, is it better to pay you guys $50 a month and help you at least break even or whatever, and plus the $2? Is it better just to give them the $50 and do it that way up front so it's keeping them where they're not losing money? Or do this pool that may be less than $50, right? And so you just don't know. And so it's all those decisions that are made, those are the things they have to think about. So let's guarantee they're going to make a minimum of $50 by having 3 people, by taking the pool away and doing it that way to keep this thing moving, right? Because the faster it moves, we all make more money, whether we're in this pool or that pool. Now, the people that build, and it also gives the big builders an incentive now and say, all right, because there's some people that are coming in and they're going to be rock stars. Well, they're working their butts out, they're building, they're doing it. Give them an incentive, give them a end goal. So now they have the best of both worlds in this. Now we know for a fact if you have 3, you're going to get to that $50. There's no guess, plus whatever you get paid. And like I said, if they start building, it's not a top off anymore. We all just got a raise. That's how I look at it. We all just got a raise with that, because if I'm making like $30 a month, I'm topped off with 8. Nope, I get 50. Now I'm making $80 a month. I just got a $42 raise because I'm not making 8, I'm making 50, right? So, so they have to look at all this kind of stuff, and how do we keep it moving? How do we keep the guy down here motivated? And how do we keep the builder looking? Because if we say, everybody at this, and the builder's like, well, I'm not going to do anything else, I'm already making, you know what I mean? So you have to weigh all that stuff. And I think that's what they did. And I love where they're going with it now. And the fact that, you know, when we understand, everybody looks at the bigger picture of this whole thing, and they're like, look, as all these our products come in, it'd be nice to make $10 a month a person, $20 a month a person, 25. I mean, it's just going to keep getting better, 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 better. And I'm doing it all with the business that's costing me $50 a month. You know, it's just, it's crazy.
And another question. I know that they said the other night at the event that you were the only person that really is an ambassador. Can you give us any more qualifications for that? They didn't really speak about it, or what makes you have that title? What has made you?
Because you know what really helped me out?
Oh,
no, I'm serious.
Yeah.
The fact that I'm a Rams fan was probably put me, you know, it gave me a head start. But no, really, it's if you have 10 who have 3, right? You have 10 people who have at least 3 people, and that's it.
All 10 having 3.
Help your 10 get their 3.
Okay, gotcha.
I didn't know that. I had no idea he was going to look at me and say, "Hey," you know, like that's why I went into hiding yesterday at an undisclosed place in Utah.
So can you repeat that again? So having 10
your
people
10
with
have
3
3 people, you're an ambassador. You get into that pool, and they'll
wow,
make,
that sounds rather easy.
Yeah, it's not that hard. It's not as hard as people think, because all you're doing is motivating your team, right? Help your 10 get $50 a month, right? Help your 10 make more than they spend. Boom. There you go.
So John, our overhead going up to $50 now, because I keep hearing $38 and $50. Are we going to pay $50 in January, starting
in January? $49.95. Because that, and again, they needed to pad that money to pay out those bonuses, the $50. But and there's other reasons too, but you know, the bank kind of came to us, and it's to make the numbers work for everybody. So, but it won't move again, from what I understand. That's it, which is nice. Because up to Richard, everybody would be free every month, no matter what. It really would. But and like I said, on top of this, gosh, the fans and everything else, my goodness, geez, when you start adding all that aspect, this thing is crazy. Yeah.
Sorry to interrupt you. But I would assume when somebody signs up after the launch, January 14th, their administration fee is still $30, and then
25.
Oh, 25. Okay.
Yep. That goes down to 25 instead of 30. Yep. See, all good questions. That's why I had this call. I wanted to clarify some of that stuff. I want to give you guys an idea where we're going as a team, what we're doing, what we need to expect of ourselves, and answer questions from Thursday. So, what I just want
to add one more thing.
Yep.
The call Thursday night, if you could just, everybody was amazing. Roger Taylor was very impactful. His message, he left me with goosebumps. If you could just tell him that.
All right, well, do you know what I love?
People, we were very moved, and I want to thank you for everything. I don't know how I ended up here, but that is my gratitude every morning when I get up and every night before I go to bed. I'm just so grateful to be here, and I want you to know that.
Oh no, awesome! I appreciate it. Thank you. Yeah, you know what really got me with Roger's speech, and I thought he was, he and Trent were the ones that really. Yeah. But Roger, what really kind of pulled my heartstrings, he could have killed that fly, and he didn't. He let it fly out his door.
No.
I mean, I probably would have swatted it. So I mean, he's a better person than me.
It was a wasp.
Okay, well, whatever. I would have swatted that sucker. He let the wasp live. There you go. That's what I got out of what he said. I thought it was awesome. No, I loved how he said, "Look, we're moving the door for everybody. We're just moving it, and here's your opening right here." Yeah, I loved what Roger did. Well, Roger's got he's a marketing guy, you know. So I was excited to hear from him. I like to hear from other marketing guys. We always have a little gem we like to, you know. They always have something. Trent was really impactful. I love what Trent said, something like at the end when he said, you know, you best get on it. Like, this is, you know, here's the biggest no-brainer of your life, pretty much. Are you on or are you in or out? But I love it when the creators get up there and speak, because people get to see who these guys are, you know. and what they've done. And Roger's done some amazing things himself, and they all have good resumes. So anyway, well, awesome. Well, I got to wrap it up because it's been an hour and a half. So that's half of the event from Thursday. We just did it. We did it halfway. We did what they took them 3 hours to do, and we did it in an hour and a half. Take that efficiency, baby, right there.
Thanks
So,
a lot, John.
Awesome, guys. All right, you guys all have a good weekend, and I will actually put this recording up. I'll put the link up in the VIP group so you guys can share it with whoever. So awesome.
Thanks,
all right,
John.
thanks, guys. All right.
Thank you, John.
Bye.
Appreciate it.